On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
Important breaking news there overnight as the Senate voted to move forward with a funding package that could bring an end to a historically long government shutdown. Both of Iowa's senators voted in favor. 8 Democrats broke from their party to side with Republicans, giving them the 60 votes needed to move forward. And now I want to give you a live look at Des Moines International Airport, where all weekend travelers have certainly felt the pain of the shutdown as flights were canceled and delayed due to the cuts. You can see everything looking pretty quiet there so far. And I want to give you a look at the cancellations and delays. That's where a lot of people have their eyes on this morning. I can tell you yesterday there were a lot on the board. Only a handful this morning, but they are still there. You've got delays in New York, in Detroit, and also in Atlanta. At least that's on the departure side. There's also a cancellation over in Chicago for the flight going that way. In terms of arrivals, we're seeing delays for Atlanta. There's a cancellation for Chicago, and that's all we got. So again, we're seeing some progress this morning. Definitely want to check in with that if you do have a flight this morning. And while an end may finally be in sight to end the longest shutdown in U.S. history, some lawmakers are still frustrated by what's not included in the bill.
And ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington detailing what went on with negotiations and what the next steps are going forward.
This morning, a possible end to the government shutdown.
Let's get the job done, and let's do it fast.
Overnight, the Senate advancing a bill to extend funding for the government through the end of January.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 senators breaking with their party to vote for the compromise, which does not include Democrats' key demand to extend Obamacare subsidies and prevent premiums from skyrocketing, the very demand that led to the government shutdown in the first place. Instead, Republicans only promising a future vote on health care sometime next month.
If that is not successful, then shame on the Republican Party and shame on Donald Trump. But the American people will see who stands with them on health care and who does not. And that will be the platform of the next stage of the fight.
However, not all Democrats are on board.
I must vote no. This health care crisis is so severe, so urgent, so devastating for families back home that I cannot in good faith support this CR that fails to address the health care crisis.
Americans have been dealing with the consequences of the government shutdown for weeks. Federal workers going without pay, airline passengers facing major delays and cancellations, and nearly 42 million Americans who depend on SNAP benefits left in limbo.
How much did you have left in your account?
23 cents.
23 cents.
Yes.
Last night's deal does not mean the government is open. Senators still have to finalize the bill, and the House still needs to approve it, a process that could take days. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
And Republican Representative Marionette Miller Meeks released a statement in response to the Senate vote, saying in part, quote, "Although I've appreciated the extra time I got to work with constituents in Iowa, I'm anxious to get back to D.C. and optimistic that the hardships Iowans and all Americans have faced may soon come to an end."
And Republican Representative Zach Nunn also released a statement in response, saying in part, quote, "The shutdown was never a red or blue issue. It was about setting aside partisan differences and political goals to deliver for service members, federal workers, SNAP and WIC beneficiaries, farmers, small businesses, and families," end quote.